All right, evening all. This is the last Q&A session before Christmas. The last one of 2024, actually.
It is, yeah.
Been a mental year. Yeah, crazy year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a busy year, definitely. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so this week there's no real questions. Just it's more talking about I was just looking through stuff, so it's more talking about the fact that it's Christmas. So there's things like getting back to some sort of normality over the weekend, Christmas normality, not normal. Um, and then was it Christmas? So just being careful, but not as strict as normal. Um, and this idea of strictness, it's kind of just understanding that it's consistency, and you can still apply the same kind of ideas at Christmas. It is consistency, and it's just that at Christmas you are not as consistent as you would normally be, but you're still going to try and be, sort of semi-consistent. And we'll talk about that, I guess, as we go through it. Yeah, and this last one, really trying to focus on not eating crap. Yet the other half saying, "Are you making your special trifle for Christmas?"
I love that.
Special trifle. I'd be interested to know what goes into a special trifle. Probably lots of booze.
I'd imagine so, yeah.
That's my kind of trifle. Yeah, so I guess it's because it's Christmas. I guess really it's a good time to kind of just. I know we've gone over all this, and you kind of think, oh, it's rehashing old territory, but I always know that having these, and I said this to a client today, it's stuff that everybody knows, but it's good to have a reminder and have that reinforcement of a few kind of key strategies and key things, I guess. So, what are your top tips for sort of surviving Christmas?
I would say it's one of those things, like you say, it is just one day. So just remember that you will not ruin all your people's biggest thing. I'm just going to ruin all of my progress because it's Christmas. And it's absolutely not the case. Like, it is just one day, sometimes two. Like for me, we have a Christmas day and a Boxing Day. Um, the joys of having split families, I guess. I know probably the same in your house, Will, but
Yeah.
essentially it falls over 2 days, sometimes Christmas Eve as well. But it's not going to undo like a year's worth of hard work or however long. So first of all, just remember that. And if you're going to step on the scales, just know that they will have gone up. And any weight that goes on quick will also come off quick. The majority of it will be water weight, excess food in your system. It's nothing to overly worry about. And you know the steps to take to get that back to where you want it to be. Enjoy it and don't overly stress about it. And go into it however you want to, really, I think is the best one. Like, some people still want to practice all those habits that they've built. They might still want to just, you can practice all the same eating habits, but you don't necessarily have to focus on being in a deficit. You can just have that one plate of food. So you have your one plate, make sure you've got your veg on there. There's nothing wrong with a roast dinner. Essentially, it's veg, proteins, a little bit of fats. It's nothing awful. But just have that one plate, load up with your veg if you want to. But if you want to enjoy the extras, go for that as well. But listen to your body still. Like, don't forget that your body will still know best. So once you're full, you don't have to keep eating. That pudding will still be there later, and so will the cheese board. You don't have to go for it straight after dinner. If you want it, have it. Don't restrict yourself. Like you said, it's that strictness that people worry about. Letting yourself enjoy it. Don't overly stress about the food. And then just get back to your normal routine, like as quick as possible. Don't extend Christmas, essentially, just to use that excuse.
I guess the other thing as well, I mean, there's a few things there, but there's one thing that the one trap that a lot of people fall into, especially if they've been given like lots of chocolate and stuff, is I'm going to get it out of the way, ready for the new year. I'm going to eat it all ready for the new year. You can still have that stuff in the new year. If you're going to make it last, it's like the kind of strategies that I use is that I will have a piece of chocolate most days, but it'll be a piece of chocolate. So if you've got a big tub of it, just take them, have one at a time, or take a couple and have them, enjoy them. And then put it outside. Don't I think the biggest mistake a lot of people make is they leave the tub of celebrations out on the side. So every time they walk past, it's like they grab it and, you know, put it outside, and you probably forget about it, and then you'll see it and go, oh, I'll have a couple of those, and then put it away again and do that. But I think you're right, is that just remember that it's going to be there later. You know, if you've had your main meal and you're full, you don't have to have dessert straight after. It
Yeah.
might have that later on in the evening, and you have that as a separate meal. Have some dessert as a separate meal, or even, you know, we've got refrigerators. It's not like we're living in the dark ages where, you know, it's going to go off quickly.
Yeah.
Stay in the fridge for 2, 3, 4 days, it'll be fine.
Yeah. I actually saw a really good post the other day where a lot of people are like, oh well, it's like you say with the chocolates and stuff, I've got to, if it's in the house, I can't just leave it, you know, I'll never see it. If it's there, I've got to have it. And this post was a really good one because it's saying if you have an advent calendar and you're opening one door a day and having that bit of chocolate and not eating the whole calendar, you have got self-control around food. But just because it's blocked behind a little door and it's telling you can't have the next one till the next day, we're very good at going, oh, I've had that one bit. No
Yeah.
one says they're overly satisfied from their tiny little square of chocolate, but you're not ripping open the entire calendar like maybe you did when you were a kid, because you have got that control,
Yeah.
and you can just apply that to the rest of the Christmas food.
It's applying rules and barriers it's,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that advent calendar, it's a strategy called automation, and it's automatically applying a rule where you have a piece of chocolate a day,
Yeah,
and you've just got to do the same strategy. And it's like, well, I've had my piece of chocolate for today, so I can have it again tomorrow, and put barriers in place to make that more difficult, make it more difficult to have it. And that's all you're doing, you know, put it out of sight. And it won't always work. It might work 80% of the time, but if it works 80% of the time, that's great, because it's reducing the likelihood of you eating that all of that chocolate in one go by 80%. But leaving it out on the side is just, you've got to remember that all of this is just habits, behaviors, and routines. And the first part of a habit is that there is a trigger, a cue, and usually a visible cue. When we look on the side, we see the chocolate tub. Oh, I fancy some chocolate. If it's not there, you're not going to get that cue. So remove the cue, and then make it harder to do. So hide it somewhere, or if you can't hide it, get somebody else to hide it, you know, and say, just ask them, just put them away somewhere. And then if you want it, you'll have to ask them for it. And you're just adding that barrier. You know, they might say, no, you've told me you can't have it. Um, but then you might sort of threaten to kill them if they don't give you. But you're putting that barrier in place. You're making it harder. Sorry, I'm making Alice laugh.
sorry.
But you know, you make it harder. And that's one of the things that you're trying to do. You mentally put barriers in place. You're not saying you can't have it. What you're doing is saying that you don't need it. You know, and that's the thing. It's a subtle difference. If you tell yourself that you can't have it, that inner child almost goes, yeah, but I want it.
Yeah,
Whereas
definitely.
self, I don't need it, and just wait. You know, it's like if you've got a big purchase, you know, if you've got like I've just bought a new car, I've had to, well, an enforced purchase. I've had to buy a car this week because my right. But I didn't just go for the very first one that I saw, you know, thinking, oh, get it out of the way and get it done. I made sure that picked one, sat with it for a few hours, and you know, and then sort of, do I really want that one? Yeah, actually, I do. And we can apply that same thing. So sit with the thought, say, right, okay, do I really want a piece of chocolate? Let's wait 30 minutes. Do I really want that cheese and crackers? Let's just wait 30 minutes. If after that time you still think, well, yeah, actually, I do want it, I really fancy it, have it. But the chances are after that time, you'll go, do you know what? I'm satisfied. I'm not hungry. I'll just be eating it for the sake of eating it, you know, and doing that. And you've already said, ask yourself, what's the next mouthful? What's the next bit of food or the next drink? What's it going to give to me that the previous hasn't? Is it going to add to the experience? Is it not? If it isn't, then you probably don't need it. Um, but I think absolutely try and stick to some sort of normal routine. You know, I know a lot of people are working between Christmas and New Year. That helps with sticking to that routine. If like me, you're having time off, it's trying to do some of the normal stuff. So I'll still be going to the gym in between Christmas and New Year. and still be, doing workouts. I'll still be kind of going for walks. I'll try and make sure that we've got normal meals in. Yeah, and just little things like that. The other thing as well, this is something, I mean, I've just been to the supermarket before we jumped on the call. Oh my God, the amount of stuff people put in their trolleys.
I went in today, and I'll be honest, I didn't even look. I wanted to be in and out.
It's just, I mean, supermarkets are mental. I try to
Yes.
avoid supermarkets at Christmas because I don't like busy places, and I find that they're obviously rushed and they get a little bit rude, and I just want to throat punch them. I'm being really honest. So I don't tend to go in, but I just couldn't believe the amount of food that, they're either feeding the 5,000 or a lot of that food's going to go to waste. Or I can understand why some people really do gain weight over Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's just thinking, do I really need this? Yeah, my mum's a prime example. Remember, not last year, but 3 Christmases ago when we were there, she had 10 desserts on the table. We had
That's a lot.
7 people around the table and 10 desserts.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So as we went last year, there were 3. We
Yeah.
had 10 of us around the table and there were 3 desserts. And I had a spoonful of each, and that was perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you want to try a little bit, have a little bit.
Go
It's
for it. Yeah.
go, have a little bit of it, not big full portions, just a little bit, little taste. It's
Yeah.
nothing.
But that's what it is. I mean, I went in today and I thought, oh, we haven't had any like Christmas chocolates at home. We've not got any. So I put like a tub of celebrations in my shopping basket, and then I thought, there's only 2 of us here. Like we don't need them, and we'll just eat them.
Yeah.
Like there's no point. I'm probably going to eat enough over Christmas. Land it with my mum's every day and pick him up, and she has got. They bought. I don't know where from. I would love to give you all a top tip, but apparently it was a cardboard box full of Quality Street rather than just a tub, because apparently the tubs are too small now. So they bought in bulk. I think it's over 2 kilos of
Oh,
Quality Street. So I'm like, if I really fancy a little Christmassy chocolate, my mum has got more than enough. So I put them back. So I was like, we don't need them for the 2 of us in the house. We're not here. We're not hosting. We don't
yeah.
need it.
And it's the same for us. We have like Christmas Eve, we have Cheesemas here. So cheese,
Yeah.
but then Christmas dinner around it. My Rosie's mum and dad's. I think we'll probably go to my mum's on Boxing Day, or I think it's Boxing Day. And then we'll go and see my dad. Like you, we've got a split family.
Yeah.
Go and see my dad at some point as well. We're not going to be eating in an awful lot.
No.
So we've kind of gone, well, we don't actually need to do a full shop. So we just get the bare essentials, and it's done. And I'm still trying to stick to the same usual breakfast. I'll probably, because I'm at home and I can make it, I'll probably stick with my usual smoothies and just have a breakfast smoothie because it's light, low calorie, just enough. And it's just that usual routine. It sounds boring, but I try and keep to. So Christmas morning, I'll have a smoothie. And
Yeah. What we're going to do.
that's it. But that's what you've got to, I think what people have to realize and understand is that your outcomes, your goals and what you want to achieve is going to come from your everyday behavior. And my everyday behavior is to have something like overnight oats or a smoothie or something like that for breakfast. And I'll keep doing that through the Christmas period. The only things that will change is that obviously Christmas Day, I'll have Christmas dinner. I probably won't have a tea. And the same for Boxing Day. I'll probably have a Boxing Day dinner and not. That's it. And it's that balance. Will I eat chocolate? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Am I going to consume more calories than I normally do? Absolutely. Because it's Christmas. But the days in between, I'm going to keep that normal routine and keep it healthy. And it takes practice. It does take practice.
Yeah.
But because that's the consistent approach and habits and routine that I have, and I've been doing this for 8, 9 years, it's kind of embedded in me. And you've just got to understand it just takes a bit of practice. Yeah, I have days where I do overconsume, but I don't dwell on it. I don't feel guilty. I've enjoyed it. And that's another thing as well. I remember what it's like to overeat. I mean, I used to really overeat, and you don't feel great for a day or two after.
Yeah.
And it's remembering that if you say yes to something, you're going to say no to something else. So if you say yes to eating all that Christmas dinner and all the desserts and drinking all the wine and eating all the chocolates, you're probably saying no to feeling good about yourself the day after.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about guilt. I'm just talking about that general kind of, you know, overeaten, sick sort of feeling. You have
Yeah.
to remind yourself, look, actually, I want to be able to get up tomorrow and go for a walk or go and do something rather than sitting at home feeling a little bit ill because I've overindulged. It's just that.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, just, I think you've said it as well. You understand that the scale weight is 99% water.
Yeah. Especially one thing we didn't talk about was like the alcohol. If you're going to be drinking over Christmas, again, you'll retain more water from that as well. So yeah, it will happen.
It is, and it's 99. You've got to understand that, and I've said this a number of times, but a pound of fat, excuse me, a pound of fat is calorifically equivalent to 3,500 calories. And that's above your maintenance. If you needed to put a pound of fat on, it's that. And actually, realistically, because of the way our body responds to it, it will take any excess carbs and shove it into the muscles and the liver as glycogen. That's not fat. It will burn more calories because it's got to digest more food, so it'll use more calories up. You'll have more energy. So the chances are subconsciously you'll move more, so you'll burn more calories off. And from studies, they've actually worked out that only 30 to 40% of your excess calories get stored as body fat. The rest is kind of excreted, stored, processed. So, that weight, if you after Christmas, you stand on the scale, say 2 or 3 days later, and you think, oh my God, I put 4 or 5 pounds on.
Yeah, no.
No, the most you can put on in a couple of days is half a pound. If you really go at it, maybe a pound.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is just water. So return to your normal routine and it'll all come off within a week, 2 weeks tops.
Yeah.
And that's the thing to remember, and just have that in the back of your mind. If you're ever in doubt, think about me and Alice constantly saying, it's not fat. You don't have to hit the sod it button. All you've got to try and do is think, right, let's get back into the hardest bit is getting back into that routine. And
Yeah.
that's say try and keep to it in between rather than seeing Christmas as like, I've got a week off or 2 weeks off. Just think, right, it's a few days. The rest of the time, I'm going to keep in that routine. Because I know a few of them have been on holiday this year and they've tried to sort of, even on holiday, they're like, well, actually, I've chosen healthier options, or I've not drunk as much as I normally do, or I've gone for walks, I've got loads and loads of steps in, or I've taken my gym kit with me and managed to work out in the gym. If you can do that while you're away on holiday abroad,
Yeah, you can do it over Christmas.
do it.
Absolutely.
When you're at home, you can do that sort of stuff at home. And it's just trying to, you don't have to be perfect. It's just trying to keep some of that routine going. And then, yeah, and New Year, we kick off and start again.
Go again. Yeah.
So it is just, it's what we're looking at is changing your identity, changing your inner beliefs and routines around yourself. Because, and I've said it a few times, your behavior, your outcomes come from how you view yourself. And if you view yourself as somebody who eats well, who moves well, who leads an active, healthy lifestyle, you're going to then embody that. You're going to personify that, and that's then going to show outwardly in how you appear to everybody else.
Yes, absolutely. It will. But yeah, ultimately, just enjoy it. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. Christmas is not about counting calories and worrying about tracking stuff. And, Christmas is about making memories.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Being with family.
yeah,
Enjoying that rest. Yeah.
And it's all about falling out with the family and
Oh, yes.
and the cornflake packet game. If you want a good bit of exercise for Christmas Day, and you've got to play the cornflake packet game. I've explained that one to you before, haven't I?
You have. We played at my sister's hen do and I won. So apparently I'm quite good at that.
So for anybody who doesn't know what the cornflake packet game is, you take a cornflake packet and the goal is to pick it up off the ground with your mouth, and the only parts of your body that are allowed to touch the ground are your feet. So you have to contort yourself into all sorts of different ways to bend over and pick it up with your mouth. And every time everybody's done it, you take an inch or 2 inches off the top of the packet and it gets lower and lower and lower until, and the last time we did it, which was last year, we were literally sucking the flat bottom off the floor. We're dead competitive in our house. He was 74 at the time. My 74-year-old stepfather was a very close second. Impressive. I've never seen anybody that age who, yeah. Oh, my lights just died. Never seen anybody that age who's that flexible. That's insane. But no,
Just keep going.
it's still it's good fun. It's good fun. All right, I think that's enough from us tonight.
I think it is. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, have a great Christmas, everyone.
Yes, have a lovely Christmas and a lovely New Year, because we won't speak to you now until the New Year. So we're back doing check-ins and things from the 6th of January. But if you need us for anything, you can message us through the app, and we will be checking in. I'll be checking in on people, because I still get up early, and when everybody else is in bed, I will probably, very, very sad of me, I know, probably be checking in with people. So I'll try and put intermittent posts. They won't be daily, but there'll be intermittent posts going on the group just to see how everybody's going. I am there are loads and loads of online workouts. If you can't get to the gym, and I'll try and remember to put a link up to the YouTube playlist that you can choose from. Yeah, just enjoy yourself. Have a great Christmas and a great New Year. I'm at my sister's wedding New Year's Eve.
Lovely.
Yeah, embarrassing myself by playing guitar and singing everybody as they come into the reception.
No, you'll have a great time. It'll be great.
Good. Yeah, and trying not to get too drunk beforehand for Dutch courage.
Yeah, that'll be the tough bit.
That's not a good idea. But anyway, yeah, have a great Christmas, guys, from both of us, and we will see you in 2025.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.